let's do this. Let's talk about how they control your mind. I got here a clip from Joe Rogan.
Oh, yeah.
Joe posted, so there's two videos playing side by side, top and bottom. On the top is CNN's broadcast version of Joe Rogan's announcement that he was being treated for COVID. On the bottom is Joe's actual video. For those that can't see, this is insane. CNN altered the colors to make Joe Rogan look grayish green.
Sick.
It's crazy. I'm gonna play a little bit. Okay, I guess you can't hear it. Oh, here we go.
In Z-Pack, prednisone.
Sun's
well, you get the point.
Size.
So look, it's hard to describe this to people who are listening other than they altered the colors of Joe Rogan's skin to make him look like he's dying.
Yeah, like
they make him look like a Frankenstein green potato.
Yes.
Like literally. Rotting green potato.
Joe just posted the clip and he put yellow journalism, fake news. Here's what you guys need to understand about this. Someone at CNN, and probably more than one person, probably someone with some authority, said, we are going to edit this footage, make Joe look very sick. They're not going to gain any extra views by making Joe look sick. No, people aren't going to be like, hey, everybody, watch this video of Joe Rogan. No. What they're doing is the people who watch CNN will just see a very sickly looking Joe Rogan. All they're really doing, it's not about ratings. This is CNN, in my opinion, deliberately trying to manipulate the narrative, to mind control, to brainwash, to propagandize.
Absolutely. I mean, this is the same time they were making the arguments that Joe Rogan was taking horse medicine and, of course, was dealing with COVID in a way which they clearly presented him not dealing with in a good way. Meanwhile, in the video, he's like, hey, I just got COVID a couple days ago. I'm feeling better than ever. I took this and this and this and this. I threw the kitchen sink at it. So their narrative was very important to upkeep. One of the ways that they kept this narrative is by faking this video, by lying to the American people to portray it as if he wasn't doing well, which is absolutely ridiculous.
You need to go to Joe Rogan's Instagram. If you can't see this because you're listening on the podcast, you need to see this because your jaw will hit the floor. They make him look like he's got like lupus or liver cancer.
Super like pale white light and dark shadow.
Yeah, this is why CNN is the enemy of humanity. I mean, this is it. And this was their reaction to it, along with other corporate media representatives that were mad that he got better. He was able to improve his health, and so was Dana White, so was Aaron Rodgers, and so were a lot of people, including congressmen and women, that take the same treatment as he does. The treatment that they're trying to, of course, say doesn't exist, doesn't work, and it's based on horses. That's ridiculous and criminal.
Regardless of that, if you go to your doctor and your doctor says they have a recommendation or prescription, why is CNN telling people not to do that?
Yeah, why?
It's
sponsored by Pfizer.
Exactly.
Is that why?
I've seen people who have had liver failure. And lupus makes you turn yellow, right?
No, so lupus is not the one that makes you turn
jaundice.
Yellow. It's jaundice, and that is caused by liver failure.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they make them look like what's the skin cancer? Like what's the cancer that makes you turn green? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Gangrene?
No. There's a cancer that affects an organ that makes your skin start pigmenting green.
And it's
it looks like he is dying. CNN made this. They want people to see this and be like, wow.
Yeah, this is getting out ahead on the story. They're like, oh, we got to get ahead on this one. Let's make him look bad.
They did it to Trump. They made him orange. Remember that photo where they made his face super bright orange and it was just...
like his hair was blowing back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can pull that one up. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, this actually looks to me like they're trying to make it look like he has too much silver in his system, because silver actually makes people turn blue. But I was going to say, I did see a tweet earlier today from a lady who said, oh my gosh, look at Joe Rogan. He looks so gray and sick. I can't believe that he was actually saying that he's healthy. And I'm like, it worked on at least one person. Oh my gosh, yeah, they totally altered this picture of Trump.
I researched that blue-silver skin guy. It turned out he was rubbing silver on his face.
Yeah, so there's a whole family.
Yeah, that he was making at his house, so it wasn't being done properly, apparently.
No, so there was a family somewhere in the Deep South that was taking too much colloidal silver, and it starts to show in your skin because your body can't excrete it because it's metal. You're not supposed to.
Did you see the guy who's fully blue? He looks like a Smurf.
I haven't seen him, but I did see a picture of like the whole family. So there's like a whole bunch of them who are obviously doing something.
You got to look
really
up the
wrong.
blue skin silver guy. It's pure blue. It's like dark, and he had been rubbing it on himself,
Blueberry.
which is why.
Yep, that'll do it.
But he didn't tell people that at first, so he caused a panic about
Everybody's freaking out.
small doses of colloidal silver, which have antimicrobial properties.
Yeah, maybe just a little. Yeah.
It used to be. That's why they made silverware, is because it would be really good for your immune system to put it in your mouth.
Huh. Interesting. I don't know about all that.
That's my guess.
So I do have the image
Where is
of
that?
Trump. And even Snopes is like, this Twitter account, White House Photos, is not connected to, what do they say? Twitter is not connected with or controlled by the White House itself. Its actions do not represent or reflect White House interests or policies. And they had this like, look, Trump does have a spray tan. It's true.
Sure, yeah.
But you'd see him on TV on CNN, and it's just like they saturate his face to make it look bright orange. And then when you see him, you're like, when you see him in real life, you're like, oh yeah, he does have a spray tan, but it's not that crazy. It's in the movie Don't Look Up. They show the right as being the people chanting "Don't look up." The right-wing politicians are like, don't look up. For those who aren't familiar, it's about a comet that's going to hit the earth and kill everybody. And so the Republicans and the right wing are like, ain't no comet. I'm not going to look up, because if you look up, you see it, right? And I'm like, yo, that's Brian Stelter, not the right. The right is going, debate me. Why won't AOC debate me? That's what the right is doing. The right is demanding you come and discuss these ideas. It's CNN that's saying, don't look at the news anywhere else.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just when you think it can't get any more absurd, we have this. And this is an old story. Joe Rogan, of course, just posted this on his Instagram just a couple of moments ago, but this happened a long time ago.
Yep.
So we have to understand that this is what the corporate media does. They lie. They're professional liars. I think there's a lot of sociopaths within them that obviously do the bidding of the special interests. And whether it was the banker bailouts, whether it was the weapons of mass destruction in Iraq, we have to understand, especially if you're a YouTube moderator, you should really consider the harm, the real life consequences and harm that the corporate media has caused so many innocent, countless numbers of individuals that had their life ruined and destroyed and ended because of the corporate media lies. And then to destroy something that potentially could help people, destroy this alternative that members of Congress are being treated with, that right there is some next level criminality that needs to be addressed right away. Because when you have someone trying to knowingly lie in a way that will hurt you, you have criminal actions being conducted on you by criminal institutions who will do and say anything for a buck.
I just want to add, they're desperate, man.
Yes.
Let this be the takeaway, because Joe Rogan has the biggest show in culture and politics. The biggest show. He gets more than 10 times. He gets like 12 or 13 times the traffic on one of his shows that they get on prime time. And they think they're going to get away with smearing him in this way. Joe puts out one Instagram post and everybody sees it.
Yes.
And it's just flushing. CNN is flushing themselves down the toilet by doing this.
Chris, you worked in a lot of media institutions. Like, how would this go over if someone would come to you being like, hey, we're going to do this? Like, what would happen? How could this happen? You worked in a lot of newsrooms. I think your perspective is valid here.
Well, thankfully, I haven't been in any kind of corporate press institutions, so I can only imagine how it would go over there. This would certainly not fly in any place that I've worked for many reasons. But something I am thinking about right now is could you imagine being the person at CNN that is making that call? I mean, can you imagine like the sort of godlike thrill that you have with, even if you're not shaping the narrative, because obviously they're failing, they're flushing themselves down the toilet, like you said, but at least they perceive themselves to have this godlike power of manipulating and sculpting exactly what they think their viewers are going to live and experience. I mean, that has to give them some sort of a sick thrill that gets them excited, right?
Sick thrill, yeah.
Yeah, but it's intoxicating, right? It has to be.
Yeah. It was like a drug. As when I worked at Mines for like 5 years, I was doing this kind of thing, deciding what was going to get seen, and it was like I had to fight the addictive force of it, because it's like such a powerful. You're like, I'm going to decide what 1 million people see now. I'm going to decide what, and one cheap employee gets to do that in a moment, and then like every employee gets to take a turn and decide, and the power is so unnecessary.
Remember how they
for a
kept
human.
using that same footage of Italy during the COVID pandemic?
Yep.
Yep.
They kept taking the same clip from Italian hospital, and it was being aired all over the U.S. Just absolutely crazy. Where would we be without the internet if we couldn't share this news rapidly?
Probably
and just be like, they're lying?
in Afghanistan still, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Iraq, probably Syria and Libya.
And no joke, maybe even literally, like some of us would be there
Iran.
because
Yeah.
we wouldn't be able to counter that narrative. People might have signed up believing the lies.
So there is a quote that says, insults are the last resort of insecure people with a crumbling position trying to appear confident. And I do believe that is the case. So that makes me wonder what exactly it means when some gigantic media conglomerate like CNN is turning people different colors. How badly have you lost when you literally have to fine tune the color of someone's recording to make them look sick and bad and uncomfortable like Trump?
Joe needs to like take that money he's got and hire more of him.
Yes.
Like hire many more Joe Rogans and make more podcasts. And I don't know how he does it, but
And legally go after CNN.
Yes.
I mean, what are you doing? What are you waiting for?
Yeah.
I mean, they're
Friends.
besmirching you. They're lying about you. They're slandering you. They're saying you're on horse medicine knowingly when they know they're not. You had one of their co-hosts on, and you confronted him, and he admitted you were right, and then he went back on CNN and said, "Oh no, he was wrong." Are you kidding me? Like the slap in the face. Sorry, I'm hitting microphones here. It's gonna get crazy. It's gonna get wild here. Get ready.
you're going to get rugged. Don't do it.
But the fact that they can't get away with this if people hold them accountable. You could hold them accountable in a court of law. I think it's more than enough time to do it. But this is also why internet censorship is so important of an issue, because when we see people censored time and time again, it's not CNN that gets hit for doing these incredulous, horrible actions. It's not the real life harm that they caused that they get held responsible for. No, it's a small independent media organization talking to their friends. It's medical doctors talking about their findings. It's people expressing their opinions that are getting hit and destroyed and having their livelihoods taken away by big tech censorship, as of course they're promoting CNN. They're ranking them in the algorithm even higher so everyone sees them on the front page. It's sick and disgusting.
Thanks for checking out this segment from the Timcast IRL podcast. If you want to watch live, you can check out this channel Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Now, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to this channel, and if you want more unfiltered and uncensored content with all of these guests, go to timcast.com and become a member. All of these guests you know and love in exclusive segments on our website where we are unrestricted in what we talk about, so you'll definitely not want to miss it. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you all next time.